Welcome. This is Nestor Vargas, your coach today, your certified financial planner, and your Latino money man. I want to say congrats for taking this step and wanting to figure out a way to create more passive income, to better your financial picture for you and your family. Look, I don't know where you are right now. Maybe you're sick of traveling for work because it's taking a toll on your marriage, right? Maybe you're just in a really terrible job with a boss that you really hate. Or maybe you're just really wanting to stop trading time for money. In whatever way you are, I just know that there's so many people out there that are stuck in a job they hate. And it's primarily because of their financial obligations, the way they actually think about their finances, or actually, even better, they don't even think about it. So today, I'm going to go ahead and go over a small but powerful change you can make in the way you view your financial picture that will set you apart from all of your peers and get you closer to financial freedom, right? That's what we want, right? One of the things that I want to go ahead and start with is the mind shift of what how to look at your investments. Okay, so we're going to talk about a document called a statement of net worth. Okay, and here's Excel spreadsheet. You'll have a copy to be able to download. But I want to make sure that we take a little time to define what a net worth statement is. But I want you to know that what we're going to get at is actually how to creatively analyze and think about strategies to increase our passive income. All right, so stay with me. Uh, you know, just a simple kind of explanation of a statement of net worth is a snapshot of your financial picture that gives you a good summary of what is happening with your money life. The way it's calculated, it's very simple. You add all the things that you own, you subtract your debt, and that is your net worth. Okay. Now, let me stop here for a second. Your statement of net worth is not the statement of, it's not the same as a statement of self-worth. If you're listening to this video and you owe more than you own, I want to let you know that you're worth it and you can absolutely get out of this. Okay. I've done it. I've seen many people do it. So mind shift. I'm going to get out of this. And if you're a person who has a high net worth, I hope that you're not getting your value of your self-worth out of that. So that can be taken away, right? It can decrease at any point in time. All right. So I'm done with my soap opera. Coming back to the statement of net worth. So when we think about assets, this is the first mind shift. This is the first thing that I want to make sure I land, that it sticks with you is, what is the definition of an asset? Most accountants will tell you that your home is an asset. They'll tell you that the things that you own inside your home are an asset. And for me, I actually subscribe to a different definition of what an asset is. And this is coming from Robert Kiyosaki, who from Rich Dad Poor Dad's book, where he says an asset is actually a thing that provides passive income for you right now, right? And that's the first mind shift, right? So instead of focusing on accumulating a bunch of assets that improve your net worth number, what we need to focus on is accumulating assets that improve our passive income number, okay? So if a definition of an asset is something that provides income for us, passive income, I want to ask you a question. Is your home an asset? The answer is no, right? It's taking away income from you every day, even if you own it. Taxes, maintenance, you know what I mean, right? Now, look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't own a home. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we need to really view our assets in a different way. Okay. So if that's the definition of an asset to create passive income, then what we need to focus on is how can we creatively think about our assets currently or future assets that we're trying to attain in a way that will help us find financial freedom by creating more passive income for us and being able to keep us from working less and less, right? So if you're that person that's traveling too much, maybe you don't have to travel as much. You can take a pay cut because your assets are creating passive income for you right now. So we're going to actually go into the technical side of the spreadsheet. I'm going to kind of help you think about how to think about your current assets, in hopefully, and I feel very confident that you'll walk away with a different mindset, a mindset that is much different than what you and I have grown up with. Because I know that you and I probably grew up in a way where, our parents told us, hey, go to school, get more, get something, get a good paying job. Maybe you go back to school, get a better degree, get more income, or maybe you're hourly, you're told to work extra hours, especially during the holidays um, to make more money. And that's what I'm saying. That mentality that we grew up with, because I know I did, maybe you didn't, but I did. That mentality benefits corporate America because it keeps you working. It doesn't benefit you as much. So let's dive into the statement of net worth or net worth statement, whatever you want to call it, balance sheet. I don't care. You call it whatever you want. Okay. We're going to start with the biggest thing that you typically own. And look, I can't tell you what to do, right? Like, I don't know how committed you are to this financial freedom thing. Some people take it to complete extremes one way or another. It becomes super savers, or maybe they're kind of in the middle. Maybe you're an alien. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully you're not. I don't think you are. But anyway, so I want to give you questions. I'm going to give you tools. These questions are tools to help you creatively analyze your situation, right? So we're going to start with, again, your home. And when we look at our home, the question that we should ask ourselves is, how can I create passive income from this thing that I own, right? Is it maybe renting out the basement? Is it maybe building an addition in the back where you can rent it out and it actually brings more income than the debt that you've acquired to build that thing? Is it maybe moving to a different state, city, or country where the quality of life is the same, but the cost is less? I don't know, right? Again, I don't know where you are. I wish I did. But that's something that you'll need to think through. Okay. The second thing that we're going to go through is your retirement accounts. This is one of my favorite topics to cover in this lesson. And I think it sounds a little crazy coming from a financial advisor, the things that I'm going to tell you. But again, this is because we're thinking differently. We're setting ourselves apart from our peers. Our peers think the same way. We're going to think differently. Okay. So what I want you to think about is this. The question is, will this account allow me to take money out when I'm ready? Will this account allow me to take money out when I'm ready? The reason I say that is because most IRAs and 401ks do not allow you to take money out until what age? 59 and a half, right? And possibly if you're still working for that employer where your 401k is held, even after 59 and a half, you may not be able to take money out. Yep, that's true. So are those accounts truly providing us the best ability to create passive income sooner rather than later? That's a question that you'll need to figure out with your financial advisor or by going to the spreadsheet. Look, I'm not, if you're maxing out your 401k or IRA, I want to let you know that I commend you. That's amazing. It's not a bad thing. It just depends on your time frame. I like to create financial freedom way sooner than 59 and a half, right? So maybe it's taking a portion of those contributions you're making into a 401k, but actually putting it into a brokerage account that doesn't have those time frames on it. And as we're talking about investments, this is the other mind shift. This is the other thing that I want to make sure it lands with you, is that we as investors need to stop looking at the short-term losses in our investments account as losses or as risk. We need to start thinking about them as what we need to experience, the price we have to pay in order to attain financial freedom quicker. What do I mean by that? Look, the smart money knows that if you're invested appropriately, those down markets are short-lived and they're actually buying more things on the downside, right? And so another mind hack that I want to give you is, if you feel like you need to sell an investment during a down market, and you don't have to, you just feel like you have this feeling, then maybe a question you need to ask yourself is, how do I feel about gifting my wealth to someone else? Because that's exactly what you're doing. When you sell an investment, someone else is going to buy it. And that person that's buying it is probably smart money that knows that things are on sale. All right. So we need to stop thinking about the short-term down pressure or the loss in value of your accounts as risk, but rather as an opportunity that we really have to pay the opportunity cost to get closer to your financial freedom, right? Vice versa, bonds and cash. Instead of thinking about them as being safe, we need to think about them as a way that someone is actually creating more wealth from our money, All right. So basically, and with more bonds and cash you have, the more opportunity you're giving someone else to create wealth. Banks, when you put money in the bank, they're lending it at a higher interest rate than they're paying you. They're getting richer off of you, right? Banks don't need to get richer. You need to get richer. Corporations, the same thing. Corporations, when you buy bonds from them, they go make more money off of that. So I'm not saying that you don't need bonds, you don't need cash. I think it's really important to have some of those instruments in your strategy, but how much? That's really gonna be up to you. But more importantly, think about it as how much is necessary, right? How much is necessary. Alrighty. So we talked about your home. We've talked about retirement accounts. We talked about the question you do ask yourselves about retirement accounts. We talked about investments, how to view them. Now let's go over to cash. Okay. And I have an example here. You may not be able to see it, but I'm just going to kind of walk you through it. Cash. Let's say you have $20,000. There's two steps that you want to take with cash. The first step is, am I getting the highest yield from my cash? Right. I just see so many clients that have cash paying nothing because they're with Chase or their Bank of America. These big banks don't pay you anything, right? So for an example, like if you have $20,000 with them, you might be getting $20 or $40 a year of interest. Okay. Now, if you look for a high yield savings account, the very same $20,000 is going to get you $800 right now, about 4%. High yield savings accounts, maybe a little more than that. $800 may not sound like a lot, but that maybe replaces your cell phone bill, replaces one of your bills. You are essentially taking a step to financial freedom, right? So that's the first thing with cash. The second thing is, where can I get the highest leverage? Right? Is it actually taking that cash and maybe buying an investment property? And hopefully when you buy that investment property, the reason you're doing it is because you've bought it at a great price where you're able to cover the mortgage, you're able to save a little money for unexpected expenses, you're able to pay that property manager, and you have more income than those expenses. So you have that passive income, right? Now you're getting more income than the expenses there. So creating the cash is right. Am I getting this maximum interest, and where can I get the highest leverage from this particular thing? Because you see, all I'm teaching you right now is to stop thinking about creating more net worth, right? To stop thinking about looking at your financial freedom number as how much you own, right? And actually start thinking about it as much how much passive income are the things that you own providing, and how can you shift them? All right, with liabilities, right? Loans. I know a lot of us have actually been taught to think about like, hey, don't buy anything if you don't have the money for it, or just be really careful with loans. And I think those are good things, but I think we are now at a point, if you really are trying to find financial freedom and trying to step up your game, to think differently. And the best way to think about this loan thing is this loan providing the maximum amount of passive income, or is this loan going to provide passive income for me? For example, if you want to buy a car and that car is not going to provide passive income for you because you're not going to rent it, probably need to look at buying an asset that will provide the income necessary to buy the car payment, right? It's all about how can I increase my assets, my income generating assets to buy the things to cover my liabilities. Right? So look, guys, there's a lot that goes into this. I hope that this has provided you a different way to think about your wealth creation strategy, how this one-page document, if you actually go over it, write it down, analyze it, and think about how much income it's providing, and think about different ways that you can optimize your income. But this one-page document can absolutely change your life. A massive change that will set you apart from your peers, and really get you closer to financial freedom. I want to leave you with two things. Okay, please take the time to create your net worth statement. Feel free to use the spreadsheet. Feel free to use a piece of paper. Draw a line down the middle. Put your assets on one side. Put how much passive income each asset's providing to you, and then analyze how much can where can you optimize it, right? Don't forget about the liabilities as well. You also want to make sure you have a good understanding of the liabilities. So you would put the liabilities on the right-hand side. But again, the spreadsheet will help you Um, and, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope this has been helpful. I look forward to seeing you around.